You've got to respect a course like this, and if you don't, you'll learn to pretty quick. I got to skate the course yesterday, and I learned some pretty valuable lessons. As the skaters have gotten better and the tricks have gotten bigger, the ASA and the ramp builders have had to learn to keep up with the skaters' appetite for bigger and more challenging terrain. This launch box is 16 feet across at the top. Normally a launch box is only about 12 feet across. In order to get the skaters more speed to get over this thing, they built a 20-foot roll-in. Now coming off the side of the roll-in is a ledge box, which is just about as high. So there's a lot of stunts built into this course. The builders have lived up to their end of the bargain. Now the skaters have got to live up to theirs.
Well, and if anybody can, look at this group. Sven Bokers, Blake Dennis, Ryan Dawes, Jaron Grobe, Ian Brown, and Sam Fogarty out of Australia. A solid group of skaters, all with different styles. Jaron Grobe right now sits in the #1 ranking in the world, followed closely by Sam Fogarty. And why not get kicked underway by the guy who's done it all, the biggest stunts over the last couple of years?
There's no doubt about it. The monster Jaron Grobe has been the #1 stunt skater on the Pro Tour for the past couple of seasons, and he has ridden that wave all the way to the top of the world rankings. Talk about riding waves. Who can forget Jaron Grobe at Hermosa Beach riding that 19-foot loop?
Well, no loops out here on this course, but as you said, Arlo, some big boxes. Jaron Grobe starting off with some tech.
Well, tech becomes stunt on that ledge, going forward porn star down that ledge with a sheer drop-off on the other side. But you know some big stuff's coming. 360 over the spine, 2 360s back-to-back, working that spine sequence, and then wall stall back into the bang. That's a creative use of the course, right into the 540 transfer. Now you see him picking up some speed.
Now he's on the far side of the course with those much smaller boxes, but making the best of it.
Right, still managing to find. Exactly. As you mentioned, this is a smaller, more tech part of the course, but Jaron's getting some good tricks over there. Going sole, switching it up to the fast slide. Fast slide's where you balance on one foot. Very difficult, and it's become very popular lately in street skating. Transferring, jumping across the launch box into the transition of the spine ramp. Now he's got to hustle up to the top of the roll-in with time winding down. Looks like he wants to finish off with something big. This roll-in is so big. Look at the speed they get for that box. 900.
Wow, making it look easy. He went so high that he was able to just drift up and over, spin kind of slow.
And he's still going. Alley-oop fish brain right into the backside Farfignugan. And you're exactly right. On that 900 over the box, usually he has to spin that thing so fast because there are so many rotations. But because he's got so much speed and this box is so big and so wide across, look at how slow he's able to rotate that thing. Looks more like a 540 than 900.
90.75, a solid first run score to get things kicking. Up next, the Australians, the seasoned veteran Sam Fogarty, and the rookie wonderkind, it's Ian Brown coming up. The ASA Pro Tour at the Mobile Skate Park Series is brought to you by Yoo-Hoo, America's favorite chocolate drink, skates on or skates off. By Paul Mitchell, the style in lifestyle sports. And the White Marsh Mall in Baltimore, Maryland, an affiliate of the Rouse Company. We are in the midst of the first round of competition here on the street course at the White Marsh Mall in Baltimore, Maryland. It's the ASA Pro Tour. Jaron Grobe sits on top right now with a solid first run score. He's one of 10 competitors that get 2 65-second runs. Only the better of those two count. And our next skater up is a rookie, but he already has a win under his belt.
Ian Brown is... Yeah, this is his first time competing on the pro circuit as well, so I'm sure Ian's going to do really well as well because he's got that way of skating and he can handle himself under pressure.
He'll probably get Rookie of the Year if he can handle the pressure and stuff.
Well, it seems like he can handle the pressure. Came out and surprised everyone at the World King Challenge. But now this is his first ASA Pro Tour stop. And after one run, doing pretty well for himself, posting a respectable 80.5.
Hi, I'm Sam Fogarty. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I skate for K2, Eulogy, Kaiser, Bolle, and XSIQ. Some of my favorite tricks would probably I like to launch big over spines, like big 360s and big hip transfers as well. I like, and that's probably my favorite tricks. And I think just the feeling of like floating through the air and launching from one ramp to the other ramp, it's just a good feeling.
Well, he's been riding that good feeling for a few years now. The last 2 years in a row, Sam Fogarty's been voted the best all-around for street and vert. He ranks really well in competitions. He's pretty consistent.
Starting out with 2 technical grinds, going kind grind and then right into the alley-oop sole. And then headed for the air, which is, by his own admission, his favorite place to be. But he is more than confident on the rails. That's why he's become one of the best in the world, why he's always rated the top all-around skater. Trying to go disaster alley-oop fish brain, but not quite able to hold on to it. It's almost made harder by the fact that those rails are so low. Hard to go to disaster into a rail that is so low.
Well, there's the drifting he likes talking about. He likes to float transfers. Sam Fogarty's a guy who you will actually see air out of a vert ramp, right off the side.
If you watch him long enough, sure, you may see that. Alley-oop topside sole, fakie 360 back in. And the crowd loves it.
Yes, they do. Sam Fogarty, here's how he got started. Very nice with the kind grind, all the way down. Decent landing. And the German judge gives him an 82.50. That puts him up in second place. Well suited for this course is Ryan Dawes. He, Blake Dennis, and last year's #1, Sven Bokerst, up next.
You're watching the ASA at the White Marsh Mall in Baltimore.
The White Marsh Mall is my favorite mall. There are like over 150 shops and it's so beautiful inside with its huge ceilings and lots of trees. I mean, it's got everything.
Yo, you got the world famous Drew Capone up in the house, the Black Love Radiators struck down in your...
I think it's great that the Mobile Skate Park series is here at the White Marsh Mall. Kids can come out and see the top pro skaters in person.
Everybody knows the name of the game. Kick back, relax, and beat rhymes for the rain. Come on, how could you maintain?
Free concerts.
Everybody knows the name of the game. Kick back,
Love the band.
I'll be your resident, one of them MC killing reverend. Ready like Tevin.
Did I mention free?
The legend. I'm iron like a lion in Zion. I'm not dying. My crew is staying high as we advance like the Mayans. Amaya and Jalou, Abaya and your crew. I fly you how to do. I fly around.
Everyone loves coming to this mall.
It's got everything.
You thought it was Baroque by the color and the stroke. The lovers to the lokes is familiar with the droopy. Hopping through the hood, blowing smoke like Gazuki.
Zoom in on this guy, Ryan Dawes, next skater up. All season long, and even last season, he started showing his stunt style of skating.
Ryan Dawes has really made a name for himself on the Pro Tour by going out every contest, throwing some big tricks, finding creative lines.
When I go to a course and I try and put together a line, I usually look at the places that people usually start and find the most complete opposite spot and do everything backwards or as weird as I can think. Like the normal person would do it this way, here's how I'm gonna do it.
That's exactly what he tried in the first round of competition, but went down and paid the price. Right now sits in 4th place.
Like Dennis is, I think he's just been lacking that one big trick, and as soon as he has a big trick, he's placed second so many times, and I think that's because he doesn't have a big spin like a 900, but he has the most technical grinds out of anyone.
And besides that, he has such a clean style on the street.
Starting out fakie 720, wedge to wedge, and as you can see, really raising the technical elements. He goes topside acid out of the fakie spin, switching up to Royale, and just spinning into and out of all these grinds. When you're gonna do it that way without the one big trick, that's the way to do it. Pack it full of technical difficulty.
But Dennis and Dawes both fall in their first run.
Sven, he always lands his stuff. Sven is always landing everything. If you're competing against him, it'll bug you real bad because he usually lands everything. He always puts together a line that is real technical.
That's how he got to be the #1 ranked skater in the world last season. He spent some more time studying this year, so he has dropped out of the rankings. He's not right out at the top, but now he is back and committed and refocused, trying to work his way back up in the rankings.
Wow, what a good line so far. Just look at how he links his tricks. He's got so much experience in competition. He knows to just keep moving, use the whole course. He had a nice 540 transfer, and there he gets tech up on the planner.
Right into the alley-oop fish brain, so there's no doubt about it, packing this run with difficulty. And we talked about that consistency. It's just so hard to beat when he's on. Sticks every trick. And these lines are just so good.
That, the first little miss, but he stays on his feet. It's not going to cost him like a fall would.
Backside Farfignugan across the square ledge planter box. And then coming true spin, 270 frontside Royale.
And he falls, but he falls after the buzzer. It's not really going to count at all against him. Sven Bokerst, wall to wall.
So we talk about how difficult the grinds that he does are and how technical he is, but this is a huge 360 over the box. So he is mixing it up well, and he gives the judges some airs to look at as well.
Sven Bokerst with a 94 even, a solid first run score. He sits in the #1 spot right now, but things could change. The top-ranked skater, Jaron Grove, in second, still to skate again. When we come back, some of the biggest tricks of the day. Welcome back, taking a new view of the ASA Pro Tour through the eyes of the follow cam here in the street. Skate Park series with all sorts of different kinds of activities, including that footage from the best trick contest. But back to the street final, Ryan Dawes sits in 8th position, starting on the opposite side of the course.
Right, remember when Ryan talked about how important this creative line is to him, he talked about starting from the opposite side from the rest of the skaters. If everyone's starting up on that roll-in, dropping in for the launch box, Ryan's going to start right opposite of them. And watch this unconventional approach to the launch box. He just skates right around it, airing off the side of the transition into the spine ramp. So already we've seen a creative line. He's taking a different approach. Now let's see some difficult tricks. True spin, fakie 360 into the alley-oop Mizu.
Setting back up, he's used just about everything on the course. Now going up the top back section. Oop.
Well, he's wasting a lot of time in between tricks and just skating around. Ryan usually puts together super runs, and I admire the creativity of this run. It doesn't seem like he's linked the tricks as well as he could have. Yeah, now he's getting exciting, going up the railing, going up that ledge box. Most guys grind down it. He went up it, backside Royale, and then jumped into the transition. So
they got to admire the hustle.
Well, sure, he's got to hustle here at the last few seconds because he wasted so much time there in the middle of his run. But it is a strong finish to the run.
Well, sometimes skaters try to work on judges' emotion. Check him out. Backside Royale, then spinning 360 degrees full in, and then boop, little backflip here. That gets the judges excited. Hopefully that was enough. Well, right now it put him all the way up into second place.
So that little run at the end really helped his chances. We're going to take a look at the rookie, Ian Brown.
It's just taken an enormous leap, the way tricks are going and the consistency of skaters. Everybody's like hitting tricks first go, like hard tricks, big tricks, and it's just amazing. Like, it's amazing to watch and to do it as well. It's just another whole different thing. It's cool.
Welcome to the Pro Tour, Ian Brown. It's a whole different caliber of competition. These guys are the best in the world, and now Ian Brown can consider himself one of them.
Adam Kilgore also this year, his first year on the tour, he's had a really good showing as well.
You know, it's one thing to make it onto the Pro Tour. Every year, a whole new crop of rookies qualifies, but then it's another thing entirely to make a name for yourself on the Pro Tour.
Be sure to catch any of these ASA shows, all sorts of cool compilation-style shows coming up with all of those skaters that have succeeded on the tour, the biggest tricks, the biggest wrecks, all of it here. Go to asaskate.com, and we'll be back with more Street Final in just a minute.
I want to be the reign of terror. I'll be the judge you'll have to face.
The ASA Pro Tour at the Mobile Skate Park Series is brought to you by Corn Nuts, surprisingly hardcore corn snack in 7 mean flavors. Corn gone wrong. By PlayStation 2 and Cool Borders 2001. Snowboard year-round against world-class pros. The anticipation is building here in the street course as we're down to our final 2 runs. Sven Boker sits in first, but he can't rest on that score because Blake Dennis is still the skate.
That's right, Sven's going to try and pad that score. He needs to have another super run. In the first round, he did it just like we'd expect him to, with super lines, keeping that speed and throwing difficult tricks at every turn. There's a nice transfer from the spine into the transition, then right into a 540 over the channel, quarter pipe to quarter pipe. That's a fakie 540, wedge to wedge over the pyramid. Now picking up speed, headed for the planter box as he goes backside unity, but has to put his hands down. Pull right into the alley-oop fish brain, drops down to an alley-oop porn star. He knows he's got to try and bring out even more difficulty now than he probably already anticipated, because he's got to make up for that minor mishap where he put his hand down on the backside unity. Well, that's one way to do it. Fakie 360 over the gap to alley-oop soul. So after that minor misstep, it looks like Sven is really coming alive. Trick after trick after trick. There's the blind 270, frontside royale right into the fish brain. So that's a way to do it. Fill it buzzer to buzzer.
Sven Boker's 2 solid runs.
Look at this. Gonna lock on alley fish brain. Then he drops the back foot to alley porn star.
Good landing, which gave him speed to hit another one. He moves up an extra point. 95, spreading his lead even further. Now, the 7th place of Blake Dennis is misleading. Now, how many times has he been in 2nd place over the last couple of years is almost mind-blowing, but he's had his share of wins this year, starting in Bercy.
Right after that win, everybody's thought Blake Dennis was over the hump. And we're just waiting for him to break out at any time and just start winning these things consistently. Right now, he's in good position to do it. He showed a lot of promise in the first round, but not enough consistency. Here we go. Alley-oop soul, fakie 360. If he can stick his line the way it looked like he wanted to in the first round, he's got a very good shot at overtaking the lead. Fast slide, balanced all the way down the rail. Locking on just his front foot, such a difficult position to get into balance for.
Now, fast slides, people were doing them a couple of years ago, but they weren't taking them this kind of distance, that time all the way down the rail.
And then look at the creativity and the control as he goes backside royale and then switches onto the rail, backside royale. Very difficult to do.
Now remember, Blake Dennis in his first run had a bad fall relatively early in his run, so already this run's substantially better.
No doubt about it. He's got time for one last trick. He's headed for the big ledge box. Fakie. 270, topside acid, switching up to Royale, and then the sunny day down the rail to finish it off. A much better run than the first round. In fact, a very good run. All around, no doubt about it. Look at the fast slide bounce all the way down the rail. That's the trick we were talking about. And then watch how he transfers. He goes backside Royale, and then from the grind, he jumps to another backside Royale. That takes a lot of control.
91.25 for Blake Dennis. Congratulations to him. Bridesmaid once again, however. Sven Bokerst, he admitted he didn't do his best, biggest tricks, but a solid run. And Ryan Dawes with third moves up in the rankings.
So we've got a much bigger course here in Baltimore, Maryland, and no one skated it better this weekend than Sven Bokerst. He is our champion here at the ASA Pro Tour. Sven, you won a lot of contests last year. This is your first one this year, and it comes kind of late in the season. What's been the difference?
I don't know, maybe because I didn't skate so much in the winter, and I mean that I won this competition. It's really important for me to have the good feeling for the gravity games. I'm really happy I won at least one competition this year.
Well, even if they weren't his hardest tricks, he had enough good tricks to win this contest in Baltimore.
A special thanks to the White Marsh Mall here in Baltimore, Maryland, part of the Rouse Companies, for being such a great host. Let's take a look at this week's Corn Nuts Sick Trick on the Street. No doubt, Jaron Grobe, the monster, going upside down with a huge transfer into the tower. And that is this week's Corn Nuts Sick Trick.
Is that a good one?
Hotel accommodations provided by the Sheraton Baltimore North, the perfect spot for your business and social needs. The Sheraton Baltimore North, we are who is taking care of you. And a huge thank you to WHFS, home of the HF Festival. Also thank you to Evolve Board Shop, the Aegis newspaper, and Rocky Talkie. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.